You're standing at the edge of a federal courthouse, badge clipped to your belt, and you've just had a realization that will change everything. The system you swore to protect is about to become your personal ATM. You are a United States Marshal, and today is the day you cross a line you can never uncross. It starts small, it always does. You're escorting a mid-level drug dealer to his arraignment when his lawyer pulls you aside. The conversation is quick, coded, and chillingly professional. He slides you an envelope containing $5,000 in cash and a simple request. Lose some paperwork for 48 hours. That's it. Not forever, just 2 days. You tell yourself it's a one-time thing, a small financial cushion. Your daughter needs braces, and your wife has been on your back about the credit card debt. You pocket the envelope. The paperwork mysteriously gets misfiled, and the dealer makes bail. Nobody notices. That $5,000 sits in your safe for 3 weeks before you touch it. Every day you stare at it, waiting for the guilt to crush you. But it never comes. Instead, what arrives is opportunity. Word travels fast in the criminal underworld when a federal officer can be bought. Within a month, you're being approached in coffee shops, parking garages, even at your kids' soccer games. Each job is slightly bigger than the last. Lose evidence, delay a transport, look the other way during a prisoner transfer. The money piles up. $10,000 becomes 20, 20 becomes 50. Your colleagues notice the new, nicer car. You tell them you got an inheritance from a dead uncle nobody ever met. They buy it because they want to. Suspecting a fellow marshal means admitting the whole system might be rotten, and you're counting on that willful blindness. It's your shield. 6 months in, you're not even pretending anymore. You have a burner phone dedicated to your side business. Its contact list a who's who of the city's most wanted. The internal conflict is gone, replaced by a cold rationalization. These criminals are going to work the system anyway, so why shouldn't you get paid? The lawyers bill $400 an hour to exploit loopholes, and the judges golf with defense attorneys. Everyone has their hand out. You're just being honest about it. Then comes the job that changes the game entirely. A cartel lieutenant is being transferred from county lockup to federal detention, a high-value target, the kind of arrest that makes careers.
His organization reaches out through your usual channels, but this time the offer isn't cash. They want to pay you in product, 50 kilos of uncut cocaine. Street value, $24 million. Your cut? After moving it through your new connections, is $800,000. You've never touched drugs before. That was your line. But $800,000 erases a lot of lines. You spend the next 72 hours meticulously planning the route, studying shift changes, camera blind spots, and backup protocols. The transport is scheduled for a Tuesday morning, deliberately picked as the slowest day for federal movements. You volunteer to lead the detail. Your supervisors are thrilled. You're showing initiative. If they only knew. The day arrives. You're in the lead vehicle of a 3-car convoy. The lieutenant sits in the middle transport, shackled and compliant. He knows the plan. About 15 miles outside the city, you radio that you're taking a detour to avoid traffic. Standard procedure. No one questions it. You reroute down a service road, cutting through an industrial park of empty warehouses. No witnesses. The ambush is surgical. 2 vehicles box in the convoy, and men in tactical gear swarm out. Your fellow marshals reach for their weapons, but you raise your hand and tell them to stand down.
The confusion on their faces is almost painful. One of them, a rookie named Martinez who looks up to you, says your name like it's a question. You don't answer. You can't. The cartel operatives extract the lieutenant in under 90 seconds. They leave the cocaine and a duffel bag on the hood of your vehicle. a transaction completed. Then they're gone. Your team is screaming questions. You spin a story on the spot. They had military-grade weapons, threatened to execute everyone. You made a tactical decision to preserve lives. It's thin, but it will hold under initial scrutiny. What really matters is the duffel bag now sitting in your trunk. That night, you move the product to a storage unit you rented under a fake name. You stand in the dark, surrounded by 50 kilos of powder that represents either your retirement or your destruction. Your phone rings. It's your wife, asking when you'll be home. You tell her soon. She says she loves you. You say it back and mean it, which somehow makes everything worse. The internal investigation starts within a week. The ambush was too clean, too coordinated. Federal prosecutors want answers, and your story is barely holding up. An analyst notices the detour route wasn't logged properly.
A witness places suspicious vehicles in the area. The walls are closing in, and you've got 800,000 reasons to make sure they don't. That's when you get the call that defines everything to come. The voice on the other end doesn't need to introduce itself. You recognize the cartel's fixer, the man who coordinates everything from prison breaks to political bribes. He tells you the heat is getting too intense. They're moving up the timeline. You need to liquidate the product within 48 hours, or they're sending people to retrieve it. His tone makes it clear that retrieval means more than just taking back the cocaine. You have 2 days to become a drug trafficker or a corpse. Your hands shake as you grip the steering wheel, headed for the storage unit. You've crossed lines before, but this is different. Moving weight means entering a world where your badge offers zero protection. One wrong move, and you're not just fired, you're dissolved in a barrel of acid somewhere in the desert. But backing out now means the cartel exposes your role in the ambush. Either way, your life as you know it is over.
The burner phone buzzes with a contact. A club promoter in the meatpacking district who moves volume for wealthy clientele, trust fund kids, and Wall Street traders who snort their bonuses without consequence. You arrange a meet in a parking garage. You show up early, scanning for surveillance, for setups, for any sign your luck has run out. He arrives in a Range Rover that costs more than your annual salary, a young man wearing confidence like cologne. He tests a sample, nods, and offers you $400,000 for half the product. It's less than you hoped, but enough to vanish if things collapse. You take the deal. The exchange happens in a Queens storage facility at 3 in the morning. You drive there, convinced every car behind you is federal surveillance, your heart hammering so hard you taste copper. But the transaction goes smoothly. Duffel bags are swapped, cash is counted, and words are kept to a minimum. You complete 2 more sales over the next 36 hours, each one a fresh opportunity for disaster, and each time you walk away clean. You can't tell if you're blessed or cursed. By Thursday morning, you've got $800,000 in cash stashed in a fake air vent in your home office.
Your wife thinks you're working overtime on the investigation. She has no idea its primary target is eating breakfast across the table from her. Then the walls cave in. You arrive at work Friday to find your office sealed. Your supervisor, a woman who vouched for you your entire career, won't make eye contact. 2 internal affairs agents escort you to an interview room. They lay out surveillance photos on the table. You meeting the promoter. You at the storage facility. They're long-range shots, but unmistakable. Someone flipped. Someone always flips. They tell you they have enough for conspiracy, drug trafficking, and corruption, a minimum of 25 to life. But there's a deal on the table. If you cooperate right now,
They'll offer witness protection for you and your family and a reduced sentence, maybe 5 years, maybe less. Your mind races. 5 years versus 25, safety versus certain death. But cooperating means telling your wife everything, uprooting your kids, and spending the rest of your life looking over your shoulder. And then there's the 800,000 in your wall, enough to disappear on your own terms. The IA agents are staring, waiting. One slides a cooperation agreement across the table. Your hand hovers over the pen. Every choice leads to destruction, just different kinds.
Then your personal cell phone rings. It's your wife. The agents gesture for you to ignore it, but you see the text preview on the screen. 2 words that change everything. They know. Your blood turns to ice. The agents see the color drain from your face, and one reaches for the phone, but you're already moving. You snatch the device and bolt for the door. They shout commands, but survival instinct has taken over. You burst onto the street, sprint to your car, and call your wife. Her voice is shaking. 2 men in suits came to the house. Not cops, not feds. They just stood on the porch, looked at the security camera, smiled, and left. The message was clear. We know where you live. You tell her to grab the kids and drive to her sister's upstate, right now. Don't pack, just go. You cut off her questions. There's no time. She hears a pure, raw terror in your voice she's never heard before, and she hangs up. You're driving aimlessly, checking your mirrors. The money is useless. Going home is suicide. The cartel is watching the house, and the feds are probably on their way. Your phone buzzes. Unknown number. You answer. It's the cartel's lawyer. He tells you he's disappointed.
But there's still a way out. They'll overlook your near cooperation with law enforcement on one condition. You deliver the federal prosecutor's entire case file. Every witness, every piece of evidence. Do that and your family stays breathing. Refuse and he doesn't need to finish the sentence. He gives you 4 hours. The files are on a secure server at the office you just fled. Going back means walking into a trap. Not going back means your family dies. There is no choice. There never was. You smash your phone, buy a burner, and text your wife 3 words. Trust me, run. 90 minutes later, you're back at the precinct, entering through a basement loading dock. You make it to your supervisor's office, find her computer still logged in, and download everything. Witness lists, surveillance logs, raid schedules. You're copying files that will get people killed, but your daughter's blood won't be on your hands. As you pocket the flash drive and turn to leave, your supervisor is standing in the doorway. She doesn't draw her weapon. She just looks at you with heartbreaking disappointment and asks one question. Was any of it real? You want to explain, but explanations are a luxury you don't have. You push past her and run.
The meet is at an abandoned warehouse. The lawyer appears with 2 enforcers. You hand over the drive. He plugs it into a laptop. After an eternity, he nods. He tells you your family is safe, for now, but you're still a liability. One of the enforcers raises a pistol. You close your eyes. The shot never comes. Instead, the warehouse floods with light as federal agents pour in from every direction. The lawyer's face twists in rage as he realizes the truth. The flash drive wasn't the case file. It was a decoy loaded with tracking malware. Your supervisor gave you one last chance to do the right thing, and impossibly, you took it. As they drag the cartel's leadership away, you collapse against a pillar. You're alive, your family is safe, but you'll spend the next decade in prison. You were the bait, and you didn't even realize it until the cuffs started clicking. The prosecutor approaches. She tells you the deal still stands. That flash drive just bought them the entire cartel. You've earned it. She asks if your family is somewhere safe. You nod, thinking of your daughter, who will grow up knowing her father chose prison over letting criminals walk free. It's not redemption. You still betrayed everything you stood for.
But in that final moment, you remembered what the badge was supposed to mean. You're left alone with the weight of $800,000 you'll never touch, a career you incinerated, and a family that has to rebuild an entire existence around your choices. You think about the rookie, Martinez, and wonder if he'll ever trust another marshal. Some scales don't balance. Some damage can't be undone. You don't get to walk away clean just because you made one right call after 100 wrong ones. But you do get to walk away breathing, and in this line of work, that's a minor miracle. The badge is gone, the money is gone, your old life is gone. All that's left is what you can build from the ashes.